We have Adam Posen and Luigi Zingales on set, and they both argue that actually we don't need national champions. This is the last thing Europe needs. We need cross-border. Your take on that?
Well, I mean, when you talk national champion, from a retail and sort of corporate perspective, this is less than 10% of Germany. This isn't a national champion anyway, and it's not a pan-European national champion. But what you do need is you need to take costs out, a massively bloated cost base. And unfortunately, both banks have got to the stage now, this is a merger of pain. I mean, they've both thrown the towel in. The only thing left is the expense line.
But do mergers of pain actually, give fruit to something? I mean, what is their business model if they do merge?
Well, the business model will be shrinking the investment banking, consolidating the balance sheets. We reckon, I mean, you should be able to take between 3 and 4 billion out over a period of time. But the fact is that still leaves them in the mid-60s for a cost-income ratio. You look at the sector's at just below 60. You look at a DNB or a Lloyds, they're low 40s. So it's a first step in a very long road in a country where, because of the Sparkasse, the Landesbank and the structure, this is a structurally unprofitable banking market anyway. But you have to, in the absence of anything else, take care of the costs.
Jonathan, I'm sitting next to Luigi Zingales, and he told us at the top of the hour that it's pretty concerning that someone wanted to come in, no one wanted to buy Deutsche Bank, so Deutsche Bank, instead of being bought, goes out and buys Commerzbank. How concerning is it that perhaps you could say a bad bank is buying maybe a worse bank? Who is even healthier here?
Well, I mean, the days of large European banks being bought, I mean, we used to talk about Standard Chartered 15, 20 years ago was a target for Citigroup or one of the Chinese banks these days. There aren't any big targets that the US banks need to buy. Asia has got its own issues. So I think in terms of consolidation, clearly we know in Europe, in Italy, in Spain, even in the Benelux and France, you have a structural problem as we go to the digital world that you've got too much cost base and too many branches. So are these two bad banks with return on assets of kind of a third of the sector being pushed together? It's unfortunate we're here, but this is the only thing left to do, really.
How much more time does this buy for Christian Saving?
Well, it's got to be 2 to 3 years. I mean, this then becomes a domestic focused, and you think that they bought Postbank many years ago and they still haven't fully integrated that. But the fact is there'll be a 4 or 5 billion cost to achieve. They'll be looking at 3 to 4 billion of savings, hopefully. They'll have to do some form of a capital raise, and they'll be targeting 2021, 22, 23. They'll be the goals that this CEO will then be held accountable for. So he will be given 2 to 3 years, because this is going to be a long and painful job.